Welcome back to The Hidden Reality, where we uncover the untold stories and challenge the myths of history. Today, we're diving into one of the most pivotal moments in world history, World War II. But instead of the usual narratives, we're going to focus on the myths and misconceptions about the war and reveal the real reasons behind the U.S. victory. Let's get started. Segment 1, Myth number 1, the U.S. won the war alone. One of the most persistent myths surrounding World War II is the idea that the United States won the war all by itself. It's true that the U.S. played a significant role, but the victory was a collective effort. Let's break it down. The United States, along with the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and other allies, fought on multiple fronts. The Soviet Union, for example, bore the brunt of the fighting in Europe, enduring the horrors of the Eastern Front. Meanwhile, the UK and its Commonwealth partners fought the Axis in North Africa and across Europe. The US did provide crucial support through the Lend-Lease Act, supplying weapons, food, and vehicles to its allies, but they were far from fighting alone. In fact, the Soviet Union's role in defeating Nazi Germany cannot be overstated. They faced the majority of the German forces on the Eastern Front, leading to the eventual collapse of Hitler's regime. The US and the UK primarily fought in the Pacific and Western Europe, but without the Soviet Union's efforts, the war in Europe could have dragged on much longer. Segment 2, Myth number 2. The US victory was all about technology. Another myth that's often spread is that the US won World War II because of its technological superiority. While it's true that technological advancements like the atomic bomb and innovations in tanks, aircraft, and radar played a role, there's much more to the story. The real reason the U.S. emerged victorious was its ability to outproduce the Axis powers. The U.S. economy was a juggernaut, able to mass-produce weapons, vehicles, and supplies on an unprecedented scale. This industrial capacity helped not only to equip the U.S. military, but also the Allied forces. The American factory system produced everything from jeeps to bombers, giving the Allies a material advantage over the Axis. The U.S. was also able to provide significant support through the Lend-Lease program, sending millions of dollars in military aid to its allies, which proved to be a game-changer for countries like the Soviet Union and the UK. Segment 3, Myth number 3. The Battle of Midway was the turning point in the Pacific. While the Battle of Midway in June 1942 is often heralded as the turning point of the war in the Pacific, it wasn't the single event that changed everything. Sure, it was a massive victory for the U.S., with the sinking of 4 Japanese aircraft carriers, but there were many other factors at play. The Pacific theater saw intense naval and island-hopping campaigns, with each victory bringing the U.S. closer to Japan. Battles like Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa were equally crucial in weakening the Japanese hold in the Pacific and paving the way for the eventual defeat of Japan. Of course, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 played a significant role in forcing Japan's surrender. But these events were the result of years of intense conflict and strategic victories leading up to that point. Segment 4, Myth number 4. The U.S. was always ready for war. Another myth is that the U.S. was always ready for World War II. In reality, the U.S. was caught off guard by the war. The country wasn't fully prepared for a global conflict when it first entered the war in 1941 after the attack on Pearl Harbor. However, once the U.S. mobilized, its military and industrial production grew at an extraordinary rate. Factories that once produced consumer goods were quickly converted to make war materials. The draft was implemented, and millions of young Americans were trained and sent to fight. The speed at which the U.S. adapted to the war effort was unprecedented, and this is one of the key reasons the Allies were able to turn the tide. Segment 5. The real reasons for U.S. victory. So, if the U.S. didn't win the war alone, if it wasn't just about technology, and if the Pacific War was a series of battles, not just one, then what were the true reasons behind the U.S. victory? The real key to victory was a combination of factors: a united and resilient Allied front, the ability to outproduce the Axis, the strategic leadership of figures like President Franklin D. Roosevelt and General Dwight D. Eisenhower, and the unwavering courage and determination of the soldiers who fought in the field. It was the combined effort of nations, resources, and people that ultimately defeated the Axis powers. So there you have it. The myths about World War II debunked, and the truth about what led to the victory of the United States and its allies. The real story is far more complex, and it's a testament to the strength of unity, resilience, and innovation. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's untold truths. Thanks for watching.